Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode 71, the Christmas special. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
I'm Justin.
I'm Walker.
And I'm Dan.
Dan Myers is with us tonight. So he was invited to be on here a while back, and he had to work and blah, blah, blah. And he's off this week, so he's with us on this special episode of Between the Lanes. So welcome to the show. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all my moving around here because, okay, there we go. Find us on YouTube, Slot Racer is the channel. We got 71 episodes now, how-to articles, and some special episodes. Find us on Facebook, Between the Lanes is the page. And we will start off with those race results. So we're going to start off with the Mid-South Slot Car Racing Association, and they raced at Turn and Burn in Mocksville, North Carolina last weekend, and Walker was there. And Walker, you want to tell us, you know what classes each pair you don't, do you? So this is the 4-inch class, and Russ was the winner, Russ Martin. He was on last week. Bobby Beachman was second, and Walker was third. And then in the GTP class, Bobby was the winner. Russ was second. Walker was third again. In the NASCAR class, Bobby was the winner. Big Money Carl Burrow was second. And Walker was third again. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, his turned around. And Walker was the winner of Dirt Late Model. Big Money Carl second. And Russ Martin was third. Anything you want to tell us about? This is like your first visit there. They're a new raceway. What do you think?
It was fun. It was nice running on a King again. I haven't ran on an actual King track since the Palooza, so it was kind of fun. Had to get used to the track. That's kind of why I sucked it. I sucked a lot in NASCAR. I don't know how I finished third, but yeah, it was fun. The guy who owns the place is really, really fun. He's a good guy. And then, and they have like some snack bar, and you can get like hot dogs and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, good facility. It was fun racing. It was pretty close. And we did A and B mains. We qualified and did A and B.
Yeah, because you guys had a really big turnout, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we had like 12 to 14.
Yeah.
So we had a good turnout.
The Ohio Challenge Cup Series, the OCC, was at HMS Speedway in Bellevue, Ohio. And, oh, well, you know what? I don't know where the pictures are for that. Maybe we'll find those down the road here. So we're going to skip to the JPM Performance Race that was at Pro Slot Raceway. And that was a hard body race. Dan, you didn't go to that, did you?
No, wife was out of town, so I had to stay home and watch the dogs.
Okay. So in the hobby stock class, Rick Stagan was the winner with Dave Solomon second, and young Aiden Malavolta was third. And in the super stock class, Rick Stagan was your winner with Austin Milcherska second and David Garino in third. And that was the same podium for pony stock. Rick was the winner, Austin was second, and Dave Garino third. And then there was at Port Jeff Raceway, they had the Northeast Nazareth Series race there. No pictures of podiums, but I'll give you the podiums. 1 motor 12 was Mylan Janko, Justin Bader second, Corey Richards third. Hillbilly 12, it was Chubby was the winner, Eric L. I don't know if that's Eric Lindsay or not, retro racer, but Eric L. was second, Mylan was third. 2 motor open, Doug Bauer was your winner, Larry Pellegrini second, Chubby third. And then 27 light, Evan Petrakis was your winner, Bob Richards second, and Eric L. was third. So Eric L. had a pretty good day, and so did Mylan. And Chubby, they were all on a couple of podiums. And then the Mid-American Hard Body Slot Car Club. Now this was last weekend, or the weekend before last week's show, and they didn't post any pictures, and we said we would post the pictures. So of the podium. So in the hobby stock class, Dennis Clark was the winner, Daryl Olson was second, and Aiden was third. Super stock had Rick Stagan, your winner, JP Melchurska second, Neil Eisler in third. And then Pony Stock Neil Eisler was your winner. JP was second, and Rick Stegan was third. The East Coast Flexi Series, they race at Slots of Fun in Hanover, Pennsylvania. And the 4.5-inch class, Bobby Davis was your winner. Joe Weinstein second, Tim Hoffman third. In the IndyCar class, it was Bobby Davis winning again with Tim Hoffman second and Joe Weinstein third. Kind of a flip around there. And the NorCal Racing Association, they raced at, is it Fun Time Raceway, Justin?
Yes.
And that race was 2 weeks.
Model car raceway or.
Ooh, that track looks fun.
Yeah.
So that race was 2 weeks ago, and they just put the results up. And I said in last week's show that we would put them up when we got them, and not to disappoint. But what can you tell us about this track?
So this track, I believe, I don't know where it originally started out, but it was the old track that was at Fast Track before
Okay.
we got our new yellow one.
Okay, and we're going to talk more about the new fast tracks here in a little bit. So
Yeah, this
Okay,
is so it's an MTT. It's a mirror image of the one in Buena Park, and about 10 feet shorter.
okay, and is this the only track they have there?
No, they have Frank's King.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I seen in the background one of the pictures. So when I go through these race results, because I don't know what races ran or what classes ran on what track, but you can help me here. So
Okay.
we'll start off with the stock car class or NASCAR class, and they raced on.
This was on Frank's King.
Okay, so in the amateur portion, Ron Purdy was the winner and Kevin Coburn was second. In the advanced, it was Nikki Shackelford, your winner, Todd Colburn second, and Dan Frazier in third. In the expert side, it was Brian, and how do we say Brian's last name?
Canuti.
Canuti, that's what I thought. All right, Brian Canuti was the winner. Jeffrey Cohn was second, and Corby Williams was third. And I want you to notice that Brian is pointing at his lucky boots, apparently.
Yeah,
That was his magic, I think, okay? So,
So the story about that is a group of guys went out to the casino the night before the race, and he lost his shoes, and all he had was his boots.
I thought you were going to say he lost his
Saturday came
pants at the casino.
So
Okay. So did he physically lose his shoes? Like,
yes,
okay. I mean, how do you lose whatever? That's a story for another time.
yeah, it was a Friday night at the casino.
Okay.
So
They do walk out barefoot.
I think he was looking for sock money and he lost his shoes. Okay, so in the pro side of the NASCAR, Justin Colvin was the winner with Ryan McDaniel second and Chris Dre in third. And then they raced the trucks, I guess, on the King track.
yes,
Okay, amateur was Kevin Coburn was the winner. Michael Kassar was second. Advanced, Todd Coburn was the winner. Nikki was second, and Dan Frazier was third. Expert, it was two boots. Brian winning, Jeffrey Cohn second. Casey Shackelford was third. And the pro was Chris Dre, Rocky Rommel second, or Rommel second, and Jeff Garrison third. And then the Hawk GT class raced on the flat track, correct?
yes,
Okay, and you guys call that the MTT.
yes.
Cool. All right, so Gary Brown was the amateur winner, and I don't think this is Gary Brown. And then Michael Kassar was second. Oh, this is the advanced winner, Todd Coburn. So I don't know. Oh, and there's our amateur guys, Gary and Michael. And then the expert was Casey Shackelford, Howard Smith, and Russ Toy. And the pro was Justin Colvin winning over Jason Hooper and Ryan McDaniel. And then LMP on the MTT. Coburn was the advanced winner. Expert was KC. John Wilbur and Russ Toy was 1, 2, 3. And then pro Justin pulled off the sweep with winning over Jason and Ryan. And what's Ryan holding? The keyboard or something? What's up with that?
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he had.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay, go get your cars. Well, I'll just hold this up. Okay. And then at Slot Cars Are Us, the track down in White House, Tennessee, they had the Christmas 400 hard body race. And this was the race they were giving away the TVs. So no last names in this race report, but Chris was the winner, and he got the big 43-inch flat screen. Doug was second, 32-incher, and Timmy was third with the 24-inch.
He doesn't look very happy.
Well,
I'll take
come
the
on.
TV off your hands if you
Okay,
don't.
so I got third and I got this, but another lap or two I could have had that, and maybe another lap I could have had that.
But no, I just had to break out that one time.
So there's your winner chicken dinner, and I don't know where those OCC picks. They might be further in the queue here. So, all right, guys, maybe you guys can do it in unison on 1, 2, 3.
Sunday,
Sunday.
Actually,
All right.
it should have been Sunday, Monday, Christmas Day.
We are not singing any Christmas carols because.
La, 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 la.
All right.
Okay, there goes my ears.
There
Carry
goes-
it in the bucket.
So this weekend, we got the Boogie Raceway Snowball 500 in Jackson, Michigan. The Southern California Retro Racing Association is at Buena Park Raceway. And then there's the Christmas race at Fast Alley Raceway in Fremont, Ohio. And on December 29th, we got the Holiday Classic Wing Car Race at Alpha Raceway in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So mark your calendars. And then, of course, last week we talked about this Ultimate Winter Challenge Drag Race, Innovative Slots, Indianapolis, Indiana, January 10th through the 12th. $295 entry fee, $20,000 in cash and prizes. I don't know what if you want to just enter a couple classes, what that would do for you, but well, I guess I got single day entries. So on the move. So last week we showed the oval track that was at the race place down in Daytona Beach area of Florida. We said it was moving up to the Viper Pit. Well, after the show aired, Brian Ambrose messaged me and said that it may not be leaving Florida after all. So we will keep you posted where it finally arrives, if it goes anywhere. So kind of controversy swirling in the air. The hill climb track that was posted on Facebook for sale that was in Connecticut is moving to New Jersey. I don't know where in New Jersey, but slot racers in New Jersey, beware. There's a hill climb track headed your way. The oval is now in place. The new Tunkel Oval is now in place at Atlanta Slot Car Raceway, formerly Cordell Model Raceway. They've really cleaned the place up, and so now they've added a oval to go along with their hill climb there. So that is now in place and up and running. I know they're having weekly racing on the hill climb. I don't know what their schedule is for this yet. The other big news was the American Orange track that was at the slot shop for many years, and then I think it went over to Lorain, Ohio for a while, and then it wound up. Dave Reed, Newark, Ohio, bought this. Had all the intentions of setting it up at his house, and so last week him and Eric Shirey came to some terms, and Eric Shirey has purchased the track, and it's the track that he learned to slot car race on at Slot Shop in Elyria, and very dear to his heart. And it will now live at HMS in Bellevue, Ohio. And my understanding today, what I seen posted was it will be placed upstairs along with the American Aristocrat Hill Climb there, and then the American King track will be on the floor. So there will be 3 American tracks at HMS. And then you got fast tracks 15 minutes away with the American Black Royal. So kind of a little mecca of
quite the
American
collection.
raceways there. And then final on the move is Justin's going to tell us about fast tracks moving. So this photo, I'm not using all the photos your dad sent me, but I guess this is the outside of the new location.
Right.
Okay, and they will.
So,
Okay, so what town were they in?
so we stayed in the same town of Rockland.
Okay,
This location is a lot easier to get to. There's more stuff around it too.
okay,
There's a hotel half a mile away, just under a half mile away. Plenty of places to eat. Easy access from the freeway.
There's a skank bar.
There's a couple bars.
Okay.
so this is. I guess they're sealing the floor before you move in.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, it's a how many square feet is it?
It is around 9,300. Our old place was just at 11,000.
Okay, so it's a little smaller.
It's a little smaller, but we still managed to fit everything inside of it. The same amount of pit space and everything.
Because there's the layout. But you're minus one track, right?
Nope.
No.
All 3 tracks and the drag strip.
Oh, so the MTT that was not set up.
Right. They have had that track for a couple of years now.
Okay. Got you. Okay, and then I think the final shot looks a little messy.
Yeah, this was
Moving
right
on.
before our grand opening on Saturday.
Okay. So everything's in place and they're up and running and doors are open and
Yes, as of right now, the red track is the only one that's running.
okay.
The yellow track still needs to be wired and leveled. And the purple track, Chris Dadge is going to come out and do some work on it before it gets 100% operational.
Okay. Well, congratulations. And you were helping them move, right?
Yes, ever since I got back from the Flexi Flats.
Oh, okay. Wow. Cool. So how long did they like close one store and then they were closed for a period, or they kept one open while they slowly moved into the other and then
We closed first or second week of October.
okay.
And we didn't start moving into this place until around November 20th or so.
Okay, so they were kind of shut down for a month roughly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But now they're up and going again, so that's good news. So we have some big news. Nobody here knows about this, I don't think, except maybe me, but that's just because I got sent the information. But ProSlot has a new flexi car chassis called the Reaper, and it's a steel center section with aluminum pan. It weighs around 27.5 grams as you see it. No word on the actual release date, but there is a photo of the new ProSlot Reaper. And other than that, I can't really tell you anything about it. I mean, it's like I said, aluminum pan, steel center section. So
I played with the prototype, the one hard body race we were up there. John Miller let me touch it and play with it.
yeah, you know what? I ran the prototype too several months ago. I mean, John says that this aluminum is much stronger than what was on the prototype because it was pretty soft. So my feeling is, I mean, it's a competitive car. I ran just as quick with it as I was running with my Mazzetti car on that particular day. I didn't swap motors, but I mean, the car handled really well. So it had GTP body on it and everything. So, I mean, it's going to be more of a, need a higher downforce body and, like it'd be more like a super speedway car, I think. I mean, I don't think you're going to want to try this on a flat track unless they come out with a steel pan for it. But right now, it's an aluminum pan version only. So, and then Mazzetti earlier today announced the left turn only bat pans for his chassis, which, as you can see, the top pan here is a little heavier. I mean, it's got the big cutout on the right side, a littler cutout on the left side, and a little hole back here. And then on this chassis, the right pan is identical to this pan, but it's had more weight taken out of it. So there's two versions of steel left turn only pans for the Mazzetti cars, and they will work on both the 4-inch and the 4.5-inch cars. And that's kind of one beauty of the Mazzetti deal. Everything kind of interchanges pan-wise. And then there's a new Mazzetti flat track chassis. And I don't know where to begin with this, but I mean, if I don't have I couldn't lay the Defender next to this, but this has more beef and material back here in the rear of the car. The center rails are more angled in towards the front. He's changed the downstop bar, if you will, on the pan from being closer back here forward to change the transfer of weight and stuff like that. And this chassis is made from a different material than the current chassis. This will be a little softer, so it should have a little more bite. Said it was still it said it was still stiff, but not as stiff as like a Defender. So jury is out until people get them out there and run them. And again, this pan will interchange with all the other cars, as all the other pans will interchange onto this car. And he said this center section was a couple of grams heavier than the Defenders. So
Yeah, the looks like the bars come straight up instead of flying out up at the nose too, up by the
here,
all the way at the front where the
here,
right up here where the lead wire clip is.
Okay, you mean right here, like where it rests on the bumpers?
Yeah, kind of in there in the middle.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell as you don't have them.
Like you brought them, like you brought them straight up instead of flaring them out to follow the arc of the pan.
Right. So they should be available probably mid-January. In both the Pro Slot and this new Mazzetti chassis, I don't even know if there's a name for it or not, but they will be FNRS approved 60 days after they're available at the distributors because they were in before the submittal cutoff. So, and then sad moment of the show when we always have to talk about racers that have recently passed away. And Ricky Williams, who was a pretty big name down in Dallas, Dallas Slot Cars drag racing, passed away a week ago. So our condolences to his family and friends. And Ricky was well liked and a big part of the drag racing program down there. So he is sorely missed. And of course, the other big news was the passing of J.P. Van Rossum, John Pierre. Me and George Kimber probably the next week are going to kind of do more of a special show about JPVR and some of the history of him in the racing and how he was a key instrumental player through the years. I mean, he started off with the Pinky Point series in this picture. You got Dan DeBella, Jan Limpak, JP, Chubba, Stu Koford, and then I believe that's Willie Hierig, who was a top-notch Belgium racer at the time. This would be about 85, 86. This was all kind of the start of Eurosport racing as we know it today. And JP's races, like I was talking to George Kimber today, and I told him, I said, in the United States, we race nothing similar to Eurosport racing whatsoever prior to 85, 86 when Chubba and Limpak and DeBella went over, and then they came back and turned us onto these cars, and they started having some series races and stuff. And at the 86 USRA Nats, they ran 32nd Eurosport there for the first time, and it was like John Laster and Fred Hood and Tom Hansen, and I can't remember the other 5 or more guys that ran at that race, but that was like the introduction of Eurosport racing to the U.S. and U.S. drivers, at the Nats that year. So, and then it's a tradition that's went on ever since, and we know where it's at today. So, JP was involved in he kind of had a little bit of a criminal past, which we all know about. Moneytron was this like futures stock market and investment kind of thing, and he would get people to invest and then kind of skim off the top. And finally, he got caught. He went to jail. He formed a a political party, which then once he was on the parliament, that released him from jail. And he was an author of many, many books on economics and other things. I would say he probably authored at least 20 different books. Of course, they're in either Flemish or Belgium language. I remember being at his house for the Millennium Race in 2000. He had massive bookshelves full of books, not just his, I mean, all kinds of books, but there was all his books. And I remember kind of like thumbing through them, and there was nothing I could read or understand. So he also bought the Onyx F1 team in, I believe, 1989 with Moneytron sponsorship and some Marlboro sponsorship. They had one podium with Stefan Johansson at one race that year, but the team folded before the year was over. And of course, JP loved Ferraris. He owned, rumor has he owned 107 Ferraris at one time or something. Don't know if that's true or not, but this was some kind of event he held and had some of his Ferraris there and the Moneytron coach and all that stuff. So, and then JP had 3 wives that I know of. This was his last wife. He was flamboyant. He was arrogant, brash. He just said it the way it was. And he put a lot of money into slot car racing. I know what he did. It was a big part of getting Eurosport racing going on a worldwide stage. And he was the first one to get a bunch of international drivers from all around the world, almost like a slot car Olympics, if you will. He paid their way over, and we raced and had good times, and then went back to our countries and organized more of that racing over time, and that's that. So someone asked me the other day, what's up with the USRA's new Facebook page and using the address at Speed Zone, Mount Holly, New Jersey, as the USRA address. So I don't know anything about that. If anybody knows anything about that, you can throw it in there, but it was just kind of unusual that the USRA's address is now Speed Zone's address. Mid-America came out with a new version of their Toyota LMP body last week. It's Toyota FNRS is what it's called because it now meets FNRS specs, which is also similar to USRA specs. This is a close-up picture of the side wing in the back. This is a legal version for FNRS, where the previous version had this extended rib, which was not allowed, and that's also normally not allowed in USRA. I don't know what they've ruled on that or not, but that is not legal for FNRS. This is legal. Not legal, legal, you get the picture. So, and of course, in this week's show, it is the Santa special giveaway, which we have lots of sponsors. This is an old picture of Sears, or no, actually Penny's catalog from probably 1967. And for you young kids, and Shane might just barely be in here, every year, like when I was a kid, now I didn't know what slot cars were back then. I was probably 5 years old or whatever, but I didn't have any interest. And but you would get the Sears catalog come to your house, and then they always call it the wish book, and it had pages and pages of toys in it. Or slot cars were back in the toy section, but it was something that people always look forward to getting. And so tonight's donators to the Christmas special, BDR Lube by Bud Denning, Bodies by Horn. We've got that Big Johnson body to give away, and the Between the Lanes special. PHR Cars, which is Cap Henry Racing. Dominator is giving away a Jackal retro kit. Mid-America Products is giving away several items. Mazzetti Racing is giving away one of the GT12 kits. Out of Sight is giving away some bodies. MPP, which is Justin Colvin and his father, they're giving away a GT12 chassis kit. And there's a picture. Is this the current kit?
Yes, that's a picture of the current kit right now.
So somebody's going to win one of those tonight. Pro Slot has donated several things, including one Scorpion 4007 motor. We've got Redline Com Drops and Blue Magic Braid Juice from Frank Ulbrich. RM Racing Products, Walker and his dad are giving away a couple of chassis. There's a picture of one of them. Mill Conroy, as I always call him, King Mill. I've got a couple of bottles of his tire cleaner to give away. And then Ralph Thorne is giving away a couple of gift certificates. Ralph Thorne Racing. Project X, Mick Brown is giving away some oilers. And there's a picture of his 100% synthetic bushing oil. And before we give the stuff away, we're going to go back in the Wayback Time Machine. So, the American Raceway shows that we did, we talked about the Emperor 220 that American Raceways only made 4 of before their demise. One went to Europe. One went to Colorado. Trying to think where the third one supposedly. Oh, the third one supposedly may have went to New York at raceway that was owned by Aurora, and we definitely know that one of the 4 wound up at Uncle Buzzy's Buzzarama in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a picture. We showed this on the show before. This is a picture. You would be in the big bank of the track. Let's go back to this picture. So you've got the big bank here, and you got what I call the little bank. So this picture is being taken over by the big bank, looking over at the little bank, and crossovers are what some call the transverse, because if you notice on this picture, this was an artist drawing, they had the crossovers here, and they had the crossovers back here on the back straightaway. The only difference is these crossovers are reversed. So if we go back to this picture, you'll see that they're reversed, because this side was gonna go up and over, this was gonna go under, but in the production model, they were reversed. So, of course, that's one of the fabulous, world-famous Buzzy's bunnies that they would hire to turn marshal the cars on Friday nights and Saturday nights. And this is just another little wider view of the little bank and the drivers. So a couple weeks ago, I found this picture, and I forgot to bring this up on a previous show, but this is a picture of the Emperor at Buzzy's, and you would have been down in the small bank looking down the track towards the big bank. And this is a view I don't think many people have seen. And what you also notice is at some point, Buzzy removed the crossovers from his track. So you come out of the little bank here, come down in front of the drivers, and you come to the crossovers. Well, they just kind of had a little zigzag here. And I guess the back straightaway, they just put a straight section in with the crossovers. So a little more slot racing history for you all. And then yesterday on Facebook, Scott Elks is an avid go-kart racing historian, and he posted an article, some pages of an article that was in Carcraft magazine in 1961. It was the December issue, to be exact. And Carcraft magazine, from what I did a little research on this. From what I could find out, Carcraft magazine started in about 1954, and they pretty much were full-size car oriented until like 1961. Then they became from November of 61 to February of 62, 4 issues, 4 months. They were known as Carcraft and Kart magazines, and they started putting go-kart racing and information into the magazine. And then in the December issue of 61, they put in slot car racing. And in this article, it tells about how they're going to have a monthly slot racing article. And in 61, there wasn't very many commercial raceways. It was all home set stuff. And that's pretty much what this article covered. They talked about starting an organization, coming up with rules, and, again, 1961. So what I found out, like after the February 62 issue, it was just back to Carcraft magazine. Then they started covering a lot of stuff on models like Revell, AMT, and by looking at my notes here, by May of '64, slot racing was only mentioned on that cover after it had been mentioned on the November or December '61 cover, and then July '62 cover they mentioned the AMT Turnpike slot cars, and December '63 they mentioned the second annual electric drags model craft races, which apparently was some kind of slot car drag racing that they helped on. So Carcraft, I mean, we all know about car model magazines and all the popular slot racing magazines of the 60s, but Hot Rod, Carcraft, Rod and Custom, the early issues covered a lot of stuff on slot car racing. So if you ever run across some of those, you might want to check them out because there's some history there. But the most interesting part of this for me was, and there's Pactra paint, which that was a big modeling paint, and then Testers then came out with paint, and then of course they went after the Lexan market. You got a Scale Electrics ad here. But what really was interesting here was this little ad here at the bottom called Mad Shirts. Okay, so this is December of 1961. Mad Shirts has this little ad down here in the corner. I couldn't really blow this up, but that's what I'm talking about. Mad Shirts by Mad Mac. Okay, any idea who Mad Mac was?
Not a clue.
Ken McDowell of Parma. Before Ken McDowell opened Parma Raceway in 1964, he sold T-shirts, and he put louvers in car hoods. Like he had this louver press he would pull to car shows, and they would put louvers in your hood, I think $0.25 a hit or something. And he also sold T-shirts, and eventually he sold the louver machine, the louver press, and sold the T-shirt business to what became Roach Studios, famous T-shirt maker in Columbus, Ohio. If you guys were around the 60s, 70s, 80s, but Roach Designs was the big place to mail order T-shirts from with all different kinds of stuff on them. But Ken sold Mad Mac to Roach Studios, and both went on to have these super big companies over the years, but in different veins, if you will. So that was interesting. And there's the address on there, Cleveland. I can't really see it on here, but Cleveland with the phone number and the Snow Road address, which was Ken's home address at the time. So another interesting part of slot car history. And that's what Ken did before he started Parma. So the USRA, we're going to talk about the USRA next. That's all I got for this.
Can I bring something up too, Ron?
Sure.
So I'm wanting to bring this up at the new products. I just chance to. So JK is going to be coming out with a new motor that is better than the Phoenix, or faster than the Phoenix.
Okay.
And then there's new RTR drag cars and drag wheels
Cool.
too from JK.
Okay.
And then also we will be giving PMP over to Herman as of January 1st.
Okay. So Herman James will become the new owner of MPP. Or
Yes.
MPP, yeah.
No, PMP.
PMP, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's still gonna be something. I'm still going to work with him a little bit on it.
Right.
But down the road, I plan on still making a GT12 chassis, just not under the PMP name.
Okay. Cool. Well, I wish you all the luck.
No
Yeah.
more pimp.
No more pimp. Listen
No
to
more
this.
pimp for Justin.
Well, now Herman's going to be the new pimp.
There you go.
The pimp. Yeah, there we go.
So Dan Myers, does MPP want to give anything away before we start giving stuff
Oh
away?
yeah, I'll step out on a limb. Make Pops build another chassis. I don't care. Yeah, we'll give one away.
All right. So let me add you to the list.
Hey.
believe it or not, we now have, I guess, 54 items to give away.
Man,
So thanks to all of our gracious sponsors or donators.
once we get to about number 36, I'm gonna go take a nap.
That'd be a hard body chassis, right?
Yes, yes. Those both are approved for Brian Maharry's Mid America Series.
Okay. All right. So I think everyone here has seen the USRA announcement last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't raise your hand, we'll fill you in. So before I start, does anybody have any comments on what they've seen?
I got comments, but we'll keep it.
What
PG.
happened? Huh?
Okay, let's just do this. So bring it right to you. So, the first point of the post was this: they were letting the manufacturers know that the restricted pricing is removed. Sell it for what the market will bear. This does not mean that you don't have to submit restricted parts. So I read that to mean that, okay, we've taken away the price restrictions on products, and you still have to submit restricted parts because they still have dates for when you can and what the cutoff dates are for the two divisions. No problem there. I guess where I kind of got a little lost in this was, and you flat track racers might have something to say about this. Okay, so add race is production 24th, single entry, not a team race. We use same race guidelines as expert GT12 and GT12. So we were already going to run a production 24 race the day before the Nats start officially. Single race.
Yeah.
We already knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it says production 24th and expert GT12. Cahosa C-can setups will be legal. Must run a 540 diameter arm to use this setup.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Expert GT12 never required a 540 arm, and Israel never required a 540 arm.
Yeah, I don't know why there's restrictions for the unofficial production race leading up to Nats.
Well, okay.
If those apply to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why there's a 540 arm limit on the Cahosa setup.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that they're creating another national, like whoever wins that will be a national champion, is what I got out of it. I think they're adding that class into the USRA.
Okay. And then also an expert GT12, the way that read, if you run a Cahosa setup, you got to run a 540 arm.
Yeah.
Which there's never been that rule. So I don't know if this is a typo, mistake, something that's overlooked, but it says all other C-can setups are legal, which of course they would be. But it doesn't say what arms they have to run. So that's why I'm kind of okay. So all things that have been changed for this year's Nats races will be talked about at the Nats for racer approval to continue going forward. Shouldn't we have racer approval before we have the fucking race?
Well, there's an emergency clause. So, and it's very vague on what constitutes an emergency. I don't think it's even written at all.
Okay.
So it's directly up to interpretation from administration to administration what an emergency is.
Okay.
Maybe
So
this was done to help out participation this year or something.
okay. So what would be the emergency when it comes to Cahosa being allowed back in? Because let me remind you, we've already run 2 Nats without it.
Right.
There was no emergency. Okay.
Right. Well, it was no emergency to that administration.
There was no emergency to the sport as the bylaws reads. It's not an administration thing. It's to the sport or hobby. Sport and hobby went on
Was there
Cahosa.
what was the turnout diminished because there wasn't any Cahosa allowed?
Okay, well, okay, we know that Rogers Nats suck because everybody hates Roger. Okay. Cahosa didn't really have anything to do with that. So was the turnout last year in California diminished because the Cahosa wasn't allowed? Because everybody that went there and raced built new motors.
Yeah.
There was no emergency. Like no one said, I'm not going to California because I can't run my Cahosa.
But there wasn't a whole lot of NorCal participation.
Okay.
I think a lot of that was due to everybody having to buy a Mazzetti chassis to be legal.
Okay, that's a different issue.
Because almost everyone we have runs.
That's a
JK.
different issue. That's
Yeah,
a
that
different
was
class.
that was that
Right.
was that was a
Different issue,
manufacturer.
different class. Okay. Cahosa C-cams weren't allowed in GTP and GT12.
Yeah.
But the guys that owned Cahosa stuff still built new stuff to run in those classes.
Most of them.
A majority of them.
Yeah.
If they didn't race.
Right.
So
Okay. So
Yeah, I know a lot of people in NorCal also run Cahosa in their flat track, their C-can setups.
but typically in years past, and the history shows that when the USRA Nats is in Northern California, a lot of the NorCal guys don't participate. And I think a lot of that's because of scheduling. Because
Possibly.
guys can go to NorCal race and race on a Saturday and not miss any time from work. Well, if you want to go to the Nats and run 3 classes, you're going to have to probably take 3 days off work. And guys don't want to do that. And I understand that. I mean, believe me, I fully understand that. So, I personally, and I've talked to 3 or 4 different manufacturers. They are not in support of no restricted prices. Like, my opinion is you have to have some price restriction because if you don't, things are going to get out of hand in a very short time. And some people I guess could say, well, Mazzetti, with him raising prices, that constitutes an emergency, which it doesn't, because there's plenty of other chassis to run. Okay, so when you look at it, with no rule change, Mazzetti's out because he's over the price limit. But that was a decision he made, not the USRA, not anybody else. That was a decision he made. And like he said, it's just 1 race a year.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know that Mazzetti is probably the most popular chassis right now when it comes to the classes that are using stamp steel chassis and Nats because most of them are run on a higher speed track. So
Right.
Mazzetti was not going to be in, and these other manufacturers were now going to be more popular or the chassis to run. Well, now they get fucked by the rule being changed. You see
Yeah.
Yeah, well, right now I know Tim is not happy with the rule change either.
Right. Well, yeah, I know. Like, so there's several.
And he would have benefited by being the only flexi chassis allowed other than Walkers.
Yeah.
Well, there's still other chassis that are legal. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Right, but how many people are going to run those?
Right.
Yeah. The only 2 chassis that would have been run would have been the C43 and our chassis. That would have been
Or a champion with aluminum pan.
it.
Maybe on the oval.
Track? On the King track?
Possibly.
On the Cobra?
You don't know.
Yeah, you can. How about this? You run the champion, and then we'll run all the fast stuff, and then.
Well, the problem is you don't know what to build right now because you really don't know what the hell the deal is. Because
I don't know either.
here it is. Again, we don't even know what new products have been approved. I mean, has USRA told you and your dad that your new chassis is approved?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
They told us that it would be approved, but that's all we know. And we don't know any other thing that is approved.
Right. But at one time they told you had to lower the price.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and now there's no price.
Yeah, we had to go from $31.50 to $30, or else we would have gotten kicked out. And now we can go to $80. So.
Right.
Yeah, but this will allow us to have more price room to be able to heat treat, nickel plate, and make things a lot more quality, which is good.
Okay, but because you didn't submit a version that's plated or heat treated, do you now have to wait till submissions are open?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I'm saying here. Okay, like it comes down to this. They can't change the rules
Mhm.
to just change rules. It can't be done because of the way the bylaws are. Any rule change has to be proposed, has to be voted on by the membership. That's what the rule book says. Okay, and then this year we voted in a new bylaw that says they can't change rules and they have to abide by the rules as they're written. The officers they can't change or not go by those rules.
Mhm.
Okay, so it goes down to how do you have any consistency if you're always changing the rules, even when you're not supposed to be changing the rules? And if the officers don't have to follow the rules, who else has to? No one else has to follow the rules. I mean, if the people in charge can't, if they can change rules, anybody can change rules, or don't have to follow the rules. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it if like every USRA member they had a vote for it. Every USRA member voted
Right.
like they have in the past, and I think that's how you're supposed to do it by the bylaws. If they did that, it'd be a lot more okay because then everything would be fine. And
Right.
and if everybody voted for it, then everybody voted for it.
Right.
But the way it is now, only maybe 4, 5, 6 people have knew about it and worked on that and changed all these things. So that now everybody else didn't get to vote on it.
Well, see, technical rules can't be changed unless it's done by a membership vote, and all the price restrictions fall under the technical rules.
Exactly.
Okay. And there's no emergency situation to change pricing rules. And again, if I don't think they should just remove price restrictions altogether. There needs to be price restrictions. If they want to raise prices on stuff to allow everybody to compete, okay, fine. But like you said, $31 chassis today, $80 chassis tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so
but
like,
how many people are going to pay $80 for a flexi chassis?
if it's a second faster than all the other ones, I'll pay for it.
But see, here's the thing. I agree with what you just said. Who was going to pay $80?
And how many units?
At some point, you're going to go to the Nats. There's only going to be 3 people in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
No one's going to show up. And I mean, there's already discussions taking place of starting another new organization for the scale cars.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I said, that's the last thing we need.
Yeah. That's
But
true.
everyone behind the scenes says there has to be some kind of price restriction. And the price restrictions that the USRA has used for years has made the industry stable for years. Because if we wouldn't have price restrictions 10, 15, 20 years ago, you would have, I mean, another class that really concerns me is GT12. What's going to happen to GT12 with no price restrictions? You're going to have like the what, $200 Horky chassis legal?
Only if they're submitted, because they still have to be submitted.
Okay, and see, I already talked to somebody about that, and they're like, well, them chassis you can't sell them to the distributors. Well, yeah, but if you make them $300 retail, you can.
Yeah.
And then sell them with the full discount. So now you've got a $300 chassis that we all know dominates like any open 12 class it runs in. So now you got to buy a $300 chassis to run in GT12. That class is done.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in it.
Maybe not on the bank track for amateur, but pro for sure.
Who's going to pay $300 to race amateur GT12 just in the chassis alone?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you would need that chassis to race on the bank track.
Right. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, I think if they were to say, okay, like GT12 chassis, we're going to raise the price to $100.
Yeah.
They could say C-can setups, we're going to raise to $80. 16Ds, we're going to raise to $60. 27 light, we're going to raise to 135 or 100. Well, you could say 125 because I know in like In the 27 lights, the rule has been like $93. And Kofor's come out with a couple of newer chassis since then, and they've been $111, which they're legal in NASRA, but they're not legal in USRA because of the price. But if you want them to be legal and involve everybody and then just raise it to $115. And everybody else can raise their prices if they want. They don't have to. You know, I mean, if you raise CCAN setups tomorrow to, let's just say $100. Yeah, Cahoza might raise his to $100, but that doesn't mean Coford or ProSlot or any of the others will do that. But it's their choice. I mean, if GT12 chassis went to $100 tomorrow, I don't know. Well, Herman's taking it over. Maybe Herman would raise it. Maybe he wouldn't. But that's his choice. I mean, but it's still capped versus being uncapped.
Yeah, and like flexi chassis too, you can put it at 45 or 50 or something. And
Yeah, you can just put it at 40.
Yeah.
And cover everybody for now.
I mean, if you look at Cahoza, they haven't raised their prices since they were banned from the USRA.
The problem Cahoza had was meeting the discount to the distributors.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what got them thrown out. So,
but they would have been able to raise their prices after that because they wouldn't have been facing any price restrictions.
okay, what I'm saying,
retail.
right? Well, what I'm saying is their retail meets the USRA price restrictions now, but their discount doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you raise that to $80, then they could probably sell. It's just changing the numbers is all it's doing. But if you raise it to 80, then they could sell to the distributors at the 55 off, and they could sell because right now, Cahoza meets the USRA retail of 66, but the distributors sell it to the raceways at 25%. Where if you raised it, then it might be more retail, but they're still at 40% for the racetracks. And the tracks would make more money on an $80 setup versus a $60 setup or $65 setup. So everybody should be happy. And then the racers can run it again if they feel like that's what they got to have, and so on and so forth. I don't think having no price restrictions is the answer because we've never in the history of racing made something more expensive and made it more popular. This is not going to bode well for entry.
And like something I thought about earlier was like, for example, a class like a starter fast class like GTP. It's a starter fast class. It's not a Eurosport car or anything, but it's faster than everything else. So no price restrictions. Say in 3 or 4 years we have a $60 flexi chassis. So you're doubling the price already on that. Which the chassis for me, it's better to have chassis a little higher because you're still going to be using the chassis no matter what. And a lot of people that race a lot buy more than just one chassis a year anyways. So if you bought 10 chassis this year, for example, at $30,
right,
then why can't you just buy 5 next year at $60 that would be higher quality?
Well, but see, a lot of times when you raise prices, quality doesn't change, just the price changes.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
So that doesn't mean because a manufacturer might say, okay, I'm going to go make a new chassis design and improve my car this way and that way and sell it for more money and pay off tooling and stuff like that. That could happen.
Yeah.
But if you take, like it would be, for example, if Champion took their $22 flexi car now and just made it $50.
Yeah, I mean nobody would buy it anyways, except for the 4.5.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like new chassis come out that are 60 instead of 30. And then you have new setups come out that are way better than all the other setups, new magnets, new armatures. Right. So then you get into having a $350 GGB car. Well, that's not going to work very well.
No.
I mean, people aren't going to want to get into that class because they want to go faster. They'll just buy a GT12 car.
Yeah, well, okay, so like when you go back to the 12 classes, what's going to keep the Velico arms out at what, $75 or $85 US?
I don't know.
Or no, not Velico.
Yeah, like $85 or something.
$85. Now I don't know if those are. Do you know if those arms are actually faster or better than say a Coford arm or a ProSlot arm?
I didn't notice a whole lot of difference
Okay.
between them.
Okay.
If anything, they might have been a little softer.
Okay. And what diameter were those arms?
513, 518,
Okay.
the small arm.
Okay. I mean, I know they haven't been submitted. Well, I don't know that they've been submitted or not, but let's just say they haven't been. They wouldn't be legal for this year's. But if they have been, now you're talking $85 armature.
Yeah.
Right.
To racing GT12 or Expert 12, or I guess, well, yeah, even amateur GT12.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So I think there has to be some price restrictions.
Yeah, I agree. Because
There has to be a dollar limit.
yeah, and the thing I'm worried about is more weekly racers and local racers. Because the people that travel are going to travel anyways. People that race a lot are going to race a lot anyways. It's the people that are local. You can't talk somebody into buying a car if it's $200. They hardly want to buy a $130 car.
And also what you'll see is a greater divide between what raceways run on a weekly basis versus what the U.S. I mean, not many raceways run USRA classes to begin with because of already the price where it's at and some of the stuff. Now that you make that higher, that's a negative to raceways. More and more raceways will just say, we are done with the USRA. And it just, but that's will come down to like 10 to 20 hardcore guys that are just going there to try and win the race.
Mm-hmm.
So the more expensive it gets. I mean, it's expensive enough the way it is. Now we're going to do away with price restrictions? That's not good.
No, because then it becomes the whole like Isra ball of wax, like you said, $300 Eurosport chassis running in Group 12 because that's what you need to be competitive.
Right.
And that'll kill the local racing. That'll kill your weekly racing real fast. Like
Well-
Walker said, you show me a guy that walks in your door, Walker, every week to race, and tell him now all of a sudden that chassis that he bought last week's going to double in price next week. You're going to lose a handful of guys.
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, so why did NorCal do away with their GT12 class? Did it have to do with expense or lack of people wanting to race it?
Both, and then lack of raceways supporting GT12.
Okay, yeah,
It was hard to get people to, because buy a pre-built car about $300.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're making an
people-
unlimited price because no restrictions.
Right.
I mean, if you ran an $85 armature and a $100 setup,
Yeah.
$500
even a
GT12.
$100 chassis, you got a $300 car. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, then you might as well just be running Eurosport.
Which now you've got like a $200 car with the price restrictions. Just
Yeah.
roughly. I mean, the chassis are 70s. Let's say they're 80. The setups are 65.
Yeah, if you build it yourself, you're
145.
looking at about
Yeah.
200 or so.
About 200, yeah. And with no price restrictions and new stuff that's already we know what it's selling for, you're talking 300 plus. What do you got to say
Right.
about all this, Shane? You're being quiet.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I hear you.
GT12.
I hear you.
I've just started to dabble in GT12, so it hasn't really concerned me yet.
But yeah, you're dabbling because pretty much it's a local race for you, the Nats this year.
I tried to run GT12 amateur, or was it pro? No, it was amateur at Rogers, but that didn't go very well.
Are you going to run amateur GT12 this year?
Yes,
You
I run
can't-
amateur. I can.
And pro.
I don't think you can run amateur because you've already won
Yeah. I don't,
Nats.
No, I can because NASCAR wasn't an amateur expert split.
No, but it's still a national title.
No.
Right. But there's no amateur NASCAR or pro NASCAR. It's one class.
Well, no. I think I don't know. I think that was if you won a national championship in any class, you can't run the amateur GT12 class. I think that
Right.
I think that was made as a rule, or that is the rule.
Right.
Yeah, I think because once
I
you
will have
win,
I will have to look that up, I guess. But hey,
Yeah, because I know the
you
same
might
thing
cheat
came
it
up
for you to
at,
get one more entry.
I've seen plenty of amateurs run pro classes or amateur classes or whatever. It
Well,
don't matter
see,
to
it
me.
used to be in GT12, you couldn't race both amateur and pro at the same event. You
Right.
picked one or the other. The
Yeah.
only guy that could race both was the winner of amateur. When you won amateur, you were moved up, but you could go ahead and race pro at that event. But if
See,
you
the same
hadn't won,
thing,
like if you got second in amateur,
right?
you couldn't move up at the same event.
Because Bobby and Terry and Lord knows who else.
At the
Same thing came up at Rogers. You can't run. Well, why not? You're a national champion. But they were a national champion in a division that wasn't split.
wasn't split. Yeah, because it says
Right.
you. I think it
Doesn't
says you
matter.
can't run amateur GT12 if you won an amateur title, national title. That's what gets Jason.
Well, unless you won the year previously, then you can defend it. I know it says that in the rules.
Right. But like in the case of Jason, he won amateur titles. So he should not be in the amateur GT12 class because it says no amateur champions allowed in the amateur GT. If you won an amateur class at the Nats, you can't run amateur GT12.
So did John Mattis win his first national championship in amateur GT12?
I believe
I
so.
believe
Yeah.
At Rogers?
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, like me, I
Like
won
Shane
4.5
hasn't won an
inch
amateur
NASCAR.
class. Right.
Yeah, it's 4.5 inch NASCAR. That's it.
4.5 inches. That's right. That's right. That's not an amateur.
So what if somebody goes out and wins Eurosport their first time? Can they go and run and win amateur 12?
I think the rules might be specific to Eurosport. And then there's the age thing. Like if you're under 12,
Right.
Yeah.
you
Right.
could- it was like say if you went to the Nats when you were 8, you could win amateur GT12, and you can keep running that class till you're 12 or 13. So you could be the amateur GT12 champion 4 years in a row from 10 to 12. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember it was a big thing that got blew up and pissed a whole bunch of people off at Chicago, and then it got cleared up real quick. Like,
But we'll
Yeah.
look it up and sort it out next week on the show.
all right, tell me now, because if I can't run it, then
No, I think
look on eBay.
you're still in there.
I'll run your stuff, Shane.
here come the give. You're going to the giveaways already.
Well, before I get to this, I was going to ask if there was anything else you guys wanted to.
Well, Shane had that homework I was hoping to hear about.
He did
Oh,
not.
yeah. He didn't go.
He was homesick. Dog ate his homework.
Ah,
Dog ate
playing in the rain
homework.
last week, or too much playing in that snow.
No,
I didn't have any snow where
He
I'm at.
didn't have none.
he didn't go. He bailed. He skipped class.
And I didn't have
I was
a-
looking
I
forward
didn't
to
have
that
a
too.
GTP motor. So
Okay.
it was a double whammy.
I still have
had
the
a bad
cars.
GTP motor.
They're still sitting right here together. I haven't touched them.
And okay, so
There's one. I got them all lined up still. I did my
Yeah.
homework. I get 50%. There's another one.
Wait, at least you went that far. I'm pretty sure there was a homework assignment before where John Miller was going to give away one of those free Chinese armed Group 12 motors if somebody posted a video, and that video still never made it to YouTube to this day.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so-
someone who's not on the show right now.
who's that?
Twitch.
Who's not on the show?
Twitch.
Twitch.
Spike.
Okay. Just checking my email. There was another major manufacturer in USRA that was not notified anything about the USRA price restrictions.
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay, so
Typical.
anybody got anything else to say about that?
I say we should just all get along, eat cookies together, and go to the skank bar and watch the woman breastfeed her kid
That's weird.
No, I don't want to watch that.
while we're eating ice cream
No.
and pork chops from Gianni's.
Pork chops.
No,
Hey, you
no,
could have got
no.
pork chops.
Pork chops sound good.
The thing was.
$30.
Oh, no, it don't sound that
No,
good.
it wasn't $30. I got why?
Oh, $29.99. Well, how
Kinda
much
is.
was it? Wasn't it like almost $30?
Hang on, someone's messaging me while I was trying. No, I think because remember Luigi came upstairs and said they didn't have the secret sauce. So
Yeah,
I think they did a price thing or
I'll
something.
give you a price adjustment on aisle 5.
Yeah. I slammed a can and it hibachilism, and we're good to go now.
Okay. So let's move on now to Ho Ho Ho, the Christmas giveaway.
Who you calling a hoe?
You can't say that.
Called you one.
That'll get everyone all bent out of shape.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody will get offended.
So, all right. So before we start, we have a few rules. Because I'm not in this, but I think all you guys are in here because you went and liked it or whatever. So if I pull your name out and it's for your product that you're donating,
Oh,
you will not get your product. You'll get the next product in line. The
Okay.
products are in no particular order. I just wrote them down as they came in. So you will win
give me a
something.
GT12 card. Give me a GT12 card.
Well, we'll see.
GT12.
Well, I don't want a
Sure,
GT12
you
car
send
now. I
Justin
might not be able to
60
race.
See, I guess the best part is if I pull. No, I think you're all covered. Like if you.
Send Justin $60. He'll send you one of them cars right now.
Well, I was thinking. Well,
Unassembled.
see,
I've
before
already got one. So
before we got the MPP hardbody chassis, if we'd have pulled Walker at the end, he'd have been screwed. He wouldn't have got nothing. But now the worst that you can come up with is a hardbody chassis.
hey, I'm good with a hard body chassis because I've never had one, so it'd be fun to have for the flat track.
Maybe you can trade some flexi cars out off the show, of course, offline.
Oh,
Okay, so we are going to start with the Red Line Con Drops and Blue Magic Braid Juice from Frank Olberg Jr. It's a pack, 1 bottle of each. Winner of this has to contact Frank Olberg or go to the Red Line page on Facebook and give them your mailing address. There's like over 200 slivers of names on here.
50 of them have my name.
Right. Yeah, you
I
betcha.
won't win anything anyways, so it doesn't matter. I swear. If my name's first,
All
I'll
right.
jump out of the seat and probably hit my
So
head.
our first winner is Chad Myers. Chad Myers. I think he's from Kentucky.
Is there any relation?
no.
No. Spelt the same way. So
What about Bert Myers
What?
down here, the Dirty South?
No.
Myers brother. No?
I wish. I'd like to get in one of them cars.
all right. The second thing is a pro. Okay, now, of course, I pulled John Miller's name out for the first Pro 4000 FK motor. So, okay. All right, so this is a Pro Slot FK motor, and the first winner will be Paul Ashley.
Yay.
Is that a North Carolina guy?
Don't know.
I don't know either.
See, and there's
Isn't there like a Matt Ashley?
there's Chad Myers. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Maybe you're onto something there, Shane. Okay, this is another Pro Slot 4002 FK motor, and that winner will be Jimmy Pontius.
That's James Pontius. Yeah, he's a South Carolina guy.
Okay, so
You don't.
he always he's always on Facebook as Jimmy. I've never seen him as James.
Yeah, well, I grew up with him. It was always James.
Okay, so now we're gonna give the 4007 Scorpion motor away.
That's that $50 throwaway motor, right?
No, you can rebuild it and play with it. Greg Weinstock. Greg
Weinstock. That's a name. Yo,
So
Greg.
now on all these Pro Slot stuff, you got to contact John Miller and Pro Slot.
Could you have cut them slivers any smaller?
Well, I shouldn't have, but I did because I just put them on lined paper and I came out
Oh, okay.
and cut them. That was a pain in the ass keeping track of every people they liked and making comments.
Shouldn't have used college ruled paper.
This is for okay. I didn't go to
Oh,
college.
that when you read the first one.
This is a 34 tooth Pro Slot spur gear because they just came out with those. Wow, Daniel Myers. Do you know Daniel
Hey,
Myers?
that should be Pops.
I know it is. Pops Myers. So he needs to contact John.
So there is relation.
Yeah.
There's
This is
finally
one more
released.
pro
Yeah,
slot.
I spawned from that tree, so yes.
One more pro slot, 34 tooth gear
Receipt.
goes to Sean Naughton, which I think he's in Florida.
Yeah, I've seen that name before.
He's a Dallas Cowboys fan. I know that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Feel bad.
This is the last pro slot, 34 tooth gear. And it's going to go to Brian Ambrose, which we know he's in Florida.
More Florida. They're gonna have fun with some 34s.
I needed to have me an assistant here. Okay, now we're going to give away Pro Slot Oil. Again, John Miller will be sending the Pro Slot Oil.
I'll take some oil. I need oil.
I just thought of
All right.
something kind of off topic, but
Kevin Lee Palmer.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin.
All right,
I met him in New Jersey.
hold your thought.
I got it.
Another Pro Slot Oiler
He's gonna forget.
will go to
Oh.
Rich Ati of Michigan. I know that guy.
I met him.
Last Pro Slot Oiler will go to Brock Garris. And if anybody is a foreigner in this drawing, you may have to pay shipping to get your stuff. I don't know. You'll have to talk to the shipper.
It could be free shipping because it's Santa Claus.
Yeah, well, the sled is broken. Now,
Well, the reindeer are down to my
so I have
area.
this list. I have this list in order. I want to show those. It's all legitimate. Blah 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 blah. So John Miller will then win the Cap Henry Racing CHR half off certificate, which means John can get any retro chassis from Cap, built by Cap, for $50. So that's John Miller.
That's a deal.
All right. Now, what was your thought before we go on with this? I don't want you to lose
So
that.
Brian Ambrose has been trying to sell that Synops. What's it called?
Control.
Synopsis?
Synapse.
Yeah. Sir. He should
Wait, wait,
do.
wait. Did you say naps? I'm tired.
Yeah, I fell asleep a while ago. That's why I kind of jumped whenever y'all were talking.
All right.
Sorry. But I was just thinking he should have, since no one wants to pay full price for it, he should sell slots and have a raffle.
Well, there you go.
If he has X amount of people and he gets up to the money that he wants for it,
Sure.
you can get a $600 controller for whatever each slot's for.
Well, I would think also after the blow up he had with Howard on Facebook yesterday into today, I really don't think he's looking for a third eye hitman anymore.
You might
So
want to keep us synapse, huh?
yeah, he might want to learn how to use that new controller.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along. Horn bodies. Dan Van Horn donated the Big Johnson body.
I want the Big Johnson one. That thing's pretty.
Oh, yeah, I bet you do.
I
That's
can't use it in Nats.
Big Johnson is going to Luke Hatley.
Luke Catley's got a Big Johnson now.
Luke Hatley.
Walker, are you even old enough to remember those T-shirts?
Heck no.
My God, I was 3 years old.
And Luke, you got to contact me because I'll be mailing this to you. See, Ron Hirschman or Fast Ones are out of sight on
Feel
Facebook.
bad for you.
The Between the Lanes out of sight Facebook special.
That one's a real pretty one.
I hate to, and with the interior, I just hate the.
Give the interior away separate. Two drawings.
It goes with it. I'm gonna have to shed a tear when I have to ship that one.
Should have put your name in the bucket and taped it to the side just so you could pull it.
The winner of that is Paul Underwood. Paul Underwood,
Paul Underwood, you better not.
you're making me
race that
cry.
body. Tear it
You're
up.
making me cry. Paul,
Ron will kill you.
I don't have this here, but the winner of this will have to contact Dan Van Horn. Bodies by Horn as the Facebook page. What did I say that guy's name was? Paul Harvey? No.
All underwear.
Yeah, Paul
Underwood.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Underwood. All right, got it. So the winner of this is for a custom painted by Horn out of sight B3 body.
Ooh.
So the winner of that is going to be Danny Caron of Florida.
I think I met him when I was down there.
All right, now Mill Conroy tire cleaners. They're 2 little bottles of tire cleaner. It works really good. The first winner, and this you'll have to contact me because I have these here. The winner of
Just
the
pull that
first,
back in a ponytail there, Walker, instead of playing with it.
the winner of that is Mike
I have before.
Davis.
It's not very comfortable whenever it's in a ponytail. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling all the hair out of my scalp. Kind
Davis.
of uncomfortable.
Bottle number 2, Mill's Magic Tire Cleaner, King Mill. The second winner is Mark Hatley.
Mark Hatley.
Mark Hatley. So the Hatley brothers or cousins, or because Luke already won something. Maybe it's father and son.
What if they're not related, like the Myers?
Well, that's kind of works out good because if they're father and son, I'm going to be mailing both items to the same address.
There we go.
Luke won the Big Johnson body, and maybe Dad will keep that. I don't know. I don't know who's Dad or who knows. All right, this is for the Mazzetti GT12 chassis kit. Mazzetti.
I have enough of those.
I only have
Enough
one.
of
I could do
those.
with another.
And the winner is Jimmy Johnson.
Didn't
Jimmy.
he win one of those? No, I don't
Huh?
think he did. Didn't he win one at the Flexi Flats?
I don't know.
He won a lot
I
of
know I
rounds,
got
huh?
2. Do you remember, Justin?
Hey, you know what? I'm thinking he
I
did.
don't know how many were raffled off because I got one of them.
I
You
think
got one. George got one. Anthony got one.
Well, I think Jimmy got one and sold it to. I thought somebody said they give him something for it.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah. So now he's got another one he's got to give away.
Okay,
Jimmy, message me.
Jimmy, you can send it to me. I don't have one.
There you go.
I'll
All right.
build it for you, Jimmy.
Mazzetti has these neat little offset oil light bushings that fit in the front of the 4.5-inch car, and they'll fit in the rear of your chassis, any chassis.
The really cool bushings.
Really cool bushings. That's what they're called. I got 5 pair to give away, 5 winners. I
I'm
really-
gonna
one
buy
pair?
those are good. Those
The
are
first winner would be Russell Martin.
Russell gets some really cool bushings.
Is that just for one pair?
Yeah.
1 pair.
He's got 5. He's going to draw 5 individual winners.
All right. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
little
makes-
Russell gets him a pair of really cool bushings.
All right.
Winner number 2, really cool bushings. Mark Dixon. Mark Dixon. I don't know
That
what
goes with the theme there. Sorry, Mark.
Mark
I
Dixon.
have to send those by carrier pigeon or it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
All right. Then set number 3. I think I couldn't see who that other one was. Rick Stagan of South Bend, Indiana. He might put him. No, he can't put him in his hard body car because it's 1/8-inch axle.
Leave them out.
Yeah, we run 330
Oh, in the
seconds.
front? Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 pair goes to Scott Schultz. We all know
Scott
Scott
Schultz.
Schultz.
Yeah, I remember him.
Some of us remember him or know him.
I pitted close to him at the Palooza. I remember him.
Yeah,
Was
right
he
next
there?
to him.
No,
last pair of really cool bushings because after this, no one's going to be really cool. And that winner is Richard Lee Stevens, which I believe is in Kentucky. So Richard
Streeter sat next to Scott. I didn't sit next to anybody. I was by myself. Streeter sat next to Scott.
So if you won Mazzetti chassis or Mazzetti stuff, you will contact Ernie Mazzetti or the Mazzetti Racing page on Facebook to send him your address, and he will ship them to you. Now we're going to give away the Bud Denning, Bud Denning Racing Lube. We have 3 of those to give away. Winner number 1 is Donald Stopper.
Donald Stopper.
Donald Stopper. And you need to contact anyone that wins. BDR needs to contact Bud Denning, and he also has a page on Facebook where your address. BDR Lube number 2 goes, there's Bud Denning. All
I'm
right.
sure he'd like to have some.
So he goes next in line. So Andrew Ford gets a bottle of BDR lube.
I bet he's a Chevy guy.
Andrew Ford. might be a Dodge guy.
He might be.
The last bottle of BDR lube goes to
He might like smart cars.
Phil Kruder. That guy's in South Bend too.
That one had 2
Sour
lines.
cream jug you're pulling out of? No, okay. It's grade A. It's good stuff. It's kind of like grade A eggnog.
Yeah. So
Bunch
Bud
of
Denning, next in line after BDR Lube, if you can see it, would have been a Ralph Thorne $25 gift certificate. So Bud Denning gets him a $25 Ralph Thorne gift certificate. I guess you
Y'all
can.
have to pee 'cause y'all are bouncing a lot.
Huh?
The Justin and Walker are bouncing a lot. I was like, y'all got to pee. Y'all are bouncing a lot. Y'all
We're
just trying to
just-
stay awake.
They're still young. Their knees are good.
They're on the edge of their seats on pins and needles waiting for me to pull their name out.
Yeah.
Okay, the second and last Ralph Thorne Racing certificate for $25 goes to the Sawdust Man, Bob Manzetti.
That'd have been cool if you could have built a box to raffle off.
Well, if he hadn't sold them all, he probably would have gave us one.
Yeah. He said
All
he's
right.
going to start building some at some point. It's one
No.
of the races we're gonna buy one.
You haven't seen him lately, then, have you? Because
No.
the last time I saw him at a race, he said he wasn't building any more boxes.
Not until next spring or summer.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our racers said that he wanted to buy one from him, and he told him he wouldn't build one until next year.
So Bob and Bud, get a hold of Ralph Thorne Racing on Facebook for your certificates, or your whatever you're going to get for $25. Okay, this is for the Luongo Jackal chassis kit Dominator. Can only hope
It's a
the
retro kit, right?
Yeah, it's a retro kit.
And the winner of that is Jordan Temple. Wow, he's local to him at least. Jordan. That's us. Jordan Temple. All right. Page 2.
Be cool if I got one. I wouldn't know how to build it.
All right, so now we're going to do Project X Lube from Mick Brown. And you will contact Mick as to where to ship it to. Winner of the first bottle is Paul Underwood.
Didn't he already win?
Yeah, he already won.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, there could have been a duplicate or two in here.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Gotta do a recount.
Wow.
Paul. Yep. I'd rather have the body than the oil anyway.
I know he said we can't win our own product, but that'll be when you finally draw my name, is when mine, the last product on the list, will be there.
Well,
he might give you a body. He might give you a body.
all right. So Tom Hansen wins a Project X Lube.
Say somebody else twice again. I swear.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger.
It's your cell phone.
No, it's my laptop.
No.
All right. The second bottle of Project X goes to. I think we already called this one too.
Oh, there it goes.
Wow.
You guys can say it. This was a pain in the ass to keep track of.
It was your idea.
You need a better secretary.
No, it goes to Dennis Clark. I was thinking Rick Stagan.
No. That's not even. Wow. How do you get those two confused?
South Bend connection.
Rick's way better than Dennis.
All right, Mid-America Products. This only be too fitting if Justin wins a Phoenix motor.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
That would be awesome.
All right, we got 5 Phoenix motors to give away. First Phoenix motor winner is Tony Mills.
Tony Mills.
Want to make sure it wasn't Toby. Tony Mills.
We could play baseball, Justin. Next time you come here for the match, we
Number
could play
2
baseball. Got a few bats.
goes to Paul Kovich. Wing car racer.
Or I'll just use it.
Paul's in the slot car industry, the racing
Yeah.
world.
The Group F motor. Phoenix number 3. Ray Kubu, I think it's Kubatin, but I'm not sure. Koobatin, Ray. He does a lot of liking and stuff, so.
Well, you know the first part has to be pronounced "ku" because that's how you pronounce "babku."
Oh,
I was going to say, because I was just getting ready to say that, and you must have been reading my mind.
we go with the barbecue stuff again.
That babaku.
Koobatin.
Where'd
And
that stay?
people that are winning Mid-America stuff need to contact Mid-America on Facebook.
Oh, ow.
Phoenix number 4 is going to go to Casey Neubauer down in Texas.
Another F motor.
And then the final Phoenix motor is going to go to one ticket only. Dan Van Horn. I know he'll like that because they run those in his series. So Dan Van Horn. It's a Phoenix motor. Now this is a Mid-America, excuse me, body harpoon for poking your body into your chassis. And there's 5 of those to give away. So harpoon 1 goes to Charles Eldridge.
Charles
Look at
are
mine,
really
that's
happy.
swamp bodies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say Womps Rock or whatever. What does he say? Is that what it is?
Womp Womp's
Yeah.
Womps Rock.
You might
Yeah.
use them for body pins and like leave them sticking out, so then he can use them to like wreck people.
Number 2 body harpoon goes to Dom Luongo. I think he got screwed in that deal. He traded a chassis kit for a body harpoon. Body harpoon number 3.
no, so far Pops is the big loser. He traded a chassis for a 34-tooth gear.
Is Britt Johnson. Body harpoon number 4 goes to Brandon.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's lost.
No, that's right,
Oh.
Jerry. Brandon Kling. I thought all you guys knew him for a second. Like, oh no. Okay,
That's
the
kinda what
final
I-
body harpoon from Mid-America Products goes to Tom Green down around Cincinnati, Ohio. Tom Green,
My favorite color is Greenland.
ORS racer.
I bet you he loves Sprite. I wish that can wasn't empty.
He probably likes the green can motor too, but hey. All right, tire wrenches. We got 5 Mid-America tire wrenches to give away.
Those are the ones. Those are the ones you can reach from across the room to change the tire.
You
Right?
got yours handy to show the crowd?
They're about that long.
Right there it is. Look at it. That's what you're
There it
winning.
is. Yep.
I shortened mine, so
We're
mine
giving
ain't
away
that
5
long.
of them.
I don't need one.
I don't need one either.
That's
My name.
yeah, it was your name. All right,
Well, now you got a backup.
Carl Peters. Carl Peters.
When you break the tip off in a JK,
Hang on. I was going to say,
you'll have
whenever
a
I went up there for the Flexi Fiesta, he gave me spare tips.
Donald Stopper wins the tire wrench.
This would be
Didn't
good
you
stuff
already
right here.
say stopper?
Who gave you free tips?
I guess, well, yeah, I paid for them.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you got out of there with
Yeah.
something for free,
Look at
Well,
all
other
those
than name
tips.
stickers.
I was the furthest person that traveled for that race, so it might have, or
Yeah.
in his defense.
Andrew Raw, or Raul, R-A-U, not to be confused with Andrew Ford.
Now he might be a Ford guy.
He might be. Tire wrench number 4 is going to go to Carrie Stalen. Sherry Stalin. That could be our maybe our first female winner on Between the Lanes.
Maybe. Or it could be Stalin in disguise.
Well, I'm good at butchering names. And the final Mid-America Tire Wrench goes to Steve Turner.
Steve Turner.
Steve Turner. Can't tell you anything about Steve Turner. All right,
Wants
so
nuts.
Shane Parrott wins the MPP GT12 chassis kit because he was next. That was the next.
You mean the PMP? Yeah.
PMP?
Jeez. I know there's a lot of M's and P's in the room tonight, but
Yeah,
geez.
I know. So, Justin, you got to send Shane a.
I have my people call your people.
Okay.
At least now, if I lose a part and I message your dad in the middle of the night,
Well,
I know where to get spares.
did you already have one of those or no?
No,
No. See,
I got everything else.
now you got one of everything.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna give away some out of sight bodies.
Here we go.
We're gonna give out six bodies of their choice.
Ooh,
All right.
63s. Come on.
No, I take it back. Five.
Oh,
All right.
Man.
So
the
John
Grinch.
Schroeder. John Schroeder. And you need to contact me or go to the Facebook out of sight page to send me your address. Winner number 2, Chris Radishes. No, wait.
My buddy Chris.
No, that's Charlie Ray's name. I'm sorry.
Jesus, you can't even read your
Well, I
hand.
seen the C in the R and I was thinking Chris Radish. It just came to mind.
Did you go to dinner with us, Justin? We went to the Italian place.
No.
No,
No,
oh, you
we
missed
did.
a fun time. That was
We
fun.
went to.
No, that was a wine time. That wasn't a fine time. That was a wine time.
It was fun. I had a good time.
Well, you spilled your wine, did? No, he spilled his.
No, I didn't spill. I don't drink wine.
Who spilled his
Roger.
wine on him?
Roger did.
Rod.
Yeah, Chris. Oh bloody hell! I guess I'm trying wine.
Yeah.
did.
Out of sight body package number 3.
The funniest part of that night was I'll let you draw their name, then I'll tell you all a funny one.
Ray George.
So we're upstairs in the parking deck, and I guess Casey Scott has the same color truck as Donald Gunn. So like Chris is opening the door and throwing his stuff in the truck, and Donald Gunn's like, "The hell are you doing?"
In my
He's like,
truck.
"Oh!" He was like, "You're right, Casey. Damn it!" He grabs his stuff and shuts the door. And I'm like, "Chris, what are you doing?" He's like, "Trying to find Casey. That was not him."
All right. Out of sight body package number 4 goes to Ralph Middaw.
Thought you were gonna say Ralph Lauren.
No, he's not in here.
Yeah, I figured he wouldn't be.
He didn't.
He's probably not even
You
watching.
didn't like and share
He
properly.
didn't like her or anything.
Yeah.
No. The final out of sight body package goes to. Oh, who is this? Earl Graybill. Earl Graybill.
That's ironic. The guy that always wins concourse with your bodies gets a body,
Yeah, well.
I think this is staged.
right?
You're gonna win your own chassis.
I'm telling you, he's gonna get. That's the last thing on the list. It'll be when my name finally
See,
comes out of the hat.
My name's not in here, but if I pull my name out now and I win an RM chassis, that's just like the Jesus being born on Christmas Day. It's like the miracle.
Yeah, I guess.
This is for RM chassis
Yeah, of your choice.
of your choice. 4 or 4.5 inch, you'll contact RM Racing on Facebook. David Reed, Newark, Ohio, just sold his orange track. He won't have any place to race it.
There's plenty of places to race up there.
I know. I'm just saying.
I could go for some food from Mark's right about now.
Now, was he the one hunting for an American King to go with that orange at one time, or
Maybe. I don't. He could have.
I might have to look.
All right, RM chassis. Number 2, the last one. Whose phone is that?
No,
Not
it was
mine.
Was
Not
it yours?
mine.
something was yelling about something.
Douglas Griffith, which I believe is a New England or East Coast.
Yeah, he's I met him at Jersey. He races retro up at Port Jeff.
Yes.
Nice guy, super nice guy.
All right, I have one pro slot that this would give away in a previous show that never was claimed.
Ooh.
Pro slot 3001, I believe it's a Contender Chinese armed motor. Setup's good for American Arms. We have one of those. You have to contact me so I can mail it to you. And the winner is
Perfectly fine if I run this.
Chris Overman.
Aw. Dang, that could have been a 16 speed build right there.
All right, the last item we're giving away is the
Already went through them all that quick.
hard body chassis.
Did you give away 2 of our chassis?
Yeah, the winners were
Why don't you put up a third one, Walker?
Douglas Griffith, and Chris Overman.
Walker don't have no pull with that company. He's just the floor sweeper.
I'm just the
Track scene.
I'm the person that does all the PR work. And I ain't got nothing to do with
I'm
the
trying to think what PR would stand for in his
Parents regret.
parents regret. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love him.
Oh yeah.
All right, last
Good luck
last
trying to get a haircut.
item. MPP hard body chassis. Thank you, Dan and Daniel Myers.
Mine.
Come on, lucky 7. It's going to Steve. I guess it's Rope. Roope, or maybe it's. I don't think it's Rupee, but it could be.
Roofies.
Roope. So you will contact Steve Rupee. You will contact Dan Myers or Daniel Myers. Or do you guys have a Facebook page?
No, I haven't got that far yet.
You could have been doing that instead of being on the show tonight.
Yeah, I could be playing Xbox too, but
Walker there. So again, we thank all of our friends and companies that donated.
oh, Walker. No, I
Paul
don't have any.
Kovacs Jr. Not Paul
I'm
Kovacs.
surprised Justin's not doing this.
Frank Obert Jr.
He
John
gave me the
Pro
idea.
Slot, Cap Henry CHR, Dan Van Horn, Bodies by Horn, Mill Conroy, Ernie Mazzetti Racing, Bud Denny of BDR Lube, Bud Denny Racing,
Here, Walker, I can do it too.
Ralph Thorne Racing,
Yeah, but I can't see your logo, so.
Dominator Chassis, Dom
Same
Luongo,
chassis.
Project X, Mick Brown, America, Products and Raceway, Roger Schmidt, PMP Chassis, Justin, Michael Colvin, soon to be
Herminator.
Herminator. What was that? A Flexi 5?
Yeah.
Wow. I still have 2 of those around.
No,
here.
wait.
And a trim.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
Wait a minute. Flexi 5 or is that the new JK chassis? I don't know.
Nah,
No, that's a Flexi 3, isn't it?
No, that's a 5.
That's a 5.
That's what. That was the first 24 scale car I ever bought.
I know me and him both have one.
All right. Out of sight, Ron Hirschman, RM Chassis, Walker, and Randy McNulty, and Dan Myers, MPP Chassis. Thanks, everybody. I think everybody on the show gave away something except Shane.
Yeah, Shane, come on.
what do you want?
Tony,
How about half off I don't know, a Contender motor or something. I don't know.
Hey, you could give away one of those GT12 cars you have.
You're the motor building guy down there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm semi-retired.
you got any more hats?
Yeah, give away a hat.
All right, I'll give away a hat.
All right.
All right, I'm good with this name getting. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, let me add it to the list. Port City hat.
What about a shirt?
Port City Racing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, give a shirt away too.
Oh, and a shirt.
Shirt and a hat. Look out.
Those are for special people.
But they better be extra large.
Oh, you don't have any 2Xs? See, it'll be my luck. You'll draw it. And I'll need a
If
2.
it's 2X, I'll make a special. Just
55
Either-
items given away.
either 2X or 1X. I do have 2Xs.
55 things given to the wrong people.
So you will contact Shane Parent or go to the Port City Racing page.
Unless you have me blocked.
Or is it? No, it's actually Port City Motorsports, isn't it?
Just my page is easier.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets-
Or if one of us get it, we can just tell them right out.
I'm digging deep. I'm
it's gonna be
hoping
Bobby. Yeah, we put Bobby's name.
Brian Wallig is your winner. And
Is that the hat or the T-shirt?
that's the
We'll do
hat.
that.
And Brian races in the Assist Series.
Come on. I need another slot car shirt. I only have like 4.
How
You
can
only have 4.
how can you only have 4 slot car shirts?
Well, other than ours.
Still, I
I have 3 of these.
All right.
My
T-shirt.
dad doesn't buy shirts from other places.
T-shirt.
I don't know why.
Port City Motorsports. T-shirt winner is
It's actually a collar. It's a nice shirt. It's not. It's collared.
Ron Vincic, OCC racer.
Semi-retired.
He can probably wear an extra large.
Yeah, he's a larger and extra large guy.
All right.
Anything else you want?
I don't know, but I hear feedback. Who's got their something's on? Dan Myers.
No, is it me?
It's gone now. Whatever you just pushed.
I didn't
No,
do anything.
I got the fan blowing on me, but that's all
No,
I
I
got.
Anything.
Kind of hear an echo. No big deal. All right. So with all that given away, now comes the end of the show. Any last minute thoughts or suggestions?
I say we need to redraw all of the gifts.
Oh,
I
stop.
don't think that it was a proper drawing.
Yeah, 'cause you didn't win anything, did you, Walker?
No.
Yeah.
Justin.
No, I didn't win, and my dad's in there too. So we got 2
Yep,
names
they're
in there.
both
that
in
didn't
there.
win anything.
The only
And
thing
my dad, I think's in there.
He's in there. The only thing that Walker won was some hard feelings.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's
It's all right. Yeah, I'll just stick to the same boat that my name's not in the bucket, just like it's not in the other bucket. It's
My
not.
name wasn't in the other bucket either. Ran out of names. I never was pulled once.
I
So-
never got pulled out of the other bucket either.
He wrote Pops' down and just assumed he wrote his boat down.
Just to stop rumors, there's Walker.
Oh,
Yay! It wasn't in the other bucket, so it doesn't matter.
you got the booby prize of nothing.
Yay.
Jason Holmes was even in the bucket.
First not winner.
It would have been nice to see him win a Phoenix motor.
Yep, right there you go.
I don't know if you
Michael
watched
Colvin
that
was in
before.
there.
If you're still watching,
Who's still
Yeah,
watching?
you can throw all the names back in there, and fast ones can give some motor balancing.
There you go.
yeah, there we go.
Well, I
Pull
can
my name
probably.
out for that one.
I got some brand new FK motors I could send you to put brushes and springs in and run in for me.
All right, fast ones will heed to the call.
You better put mine on the top.
He'll get pictures in there.
He probably won't.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh. He's already put all the winners' names in there, too.
All right, there you are.
Oh, no.
Walker, you're on top.
All right, sweet. I'll be in the B main, so pull out 9, so then I can be number 9 and get the last one. See, that's the problem. There was never anybody that gave away 9 things.
All right, fast ones balancing.
No, because there were 5 Phoenix motors and 5 harpoons, so Roger gave at least 10 things away.
Yeah, but it
And
wasn't.
there's
You
five
give away
wrenches.
15 if you want to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
It wasn't the same.
oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I say you need to give away 50 free motor balancings. so that I might have a chance of getting something.
What, you got 50 arms? What, you got 50 arms you need rebalanced?
I can have 50.
I know I do. You've had them before.
All right, so I'm going to do 2 arms,
2 arms. How about 2 legs?
2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 breasts. Oh, that's a chicken. All right, the first winner, Mark Dixon. Mark,
I'm gonna cry tonight. I'm gonna do it.
you gonna cry?
Yeah, the only thing I can win is V-Man. That's about it.
Case of herpethioma.
Oh, we already
Give away
won.
a free haircut, then I might do it, but still probably won't. I'll just sell the certificate.
All right, this is Steve Roop, or
Yeah.
Rope. Oh, he already won. What the heck? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Here we go. We got duplicates again.
PJ Baltz.
Okay, he hasn't won.
I tried, guys.
You tried what?
I tried to get them to get something to win. Am I the only one on the show that won something?
Josh Barbie.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Barber.
Barbie.
Good old Barber. No, good old. I know. You called him Barber one time, so now we call him Barber.
Well, probably because I had it. I couldn't read my notes or something. I think I could.
He's calling you Hersheyman.
Yeah, that dang Ron Hershey.
There you go. George Spry. These are all your friends, Walker. You're so close.
It doesn't
They're all
matter.
his friends, but they're
You know what'll change your luck, Walker? A haircut.
Nah.
It worked.
I had
It worked for
short hair.
Kyle Petty. It worked for Kyle.
I had short hair and did worse. The only good thing I did with short hair was beat Justin in 1/32 Euro sport. That's just
Yeah,
because
and you haven't done any better with long hair. I mean, you didn't win at the flats.
Kevin
Yeah,
Petty.
but I wasn't 7th. So actually, I don't know where. I was.
Kevin Petty. And the last out of sight armature balancing winner will be,
Fast.
drum roll please,
Fast ones outside.
Jeremy Piles.
Man, it was familiar too.
Sorry,
Shot another
Walker.
staple at you. I'm gonna shoot one in my brain.
Ain't much there.
Probably miss. Get your haircut, you get a new attitude on life, a new outlook, a new look, a new style.
Get you a
It
mullet.
still won't make
Shave
me.
the sides and go with the mullet.
You get you some
Somebody
new
told me to
swag.
do that, and I almost slapped him.
From the top. Pull it up in one of those. Pull it up in one of those twat knots. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll throw them.
Wow.
Could you show us what your man bun would look like if you made one?
They're
No.
like pebbles.
You say well, it probably look more like Wilma when they want to hit the ceiling fan.
Marge Simpson.
Marge Simpson.
Yeah, there we go. I can just go get a perm.
Wow.
What? You gonna put curls in it or what?
Yeah.
You could be. What's
Got
that?
that big hair.
You could be sexual chocolate. Y'all don't even know who I'm talking about, right? You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah. Don't get
funny.
me going. All right. Anything else you guys want to say or mention?
I like Babacool.
Yeah, but you're a loser. You didn't win nothing.
Yeah, I know. You didn't win anything either.
His name wasn't in the bucket.
Exactly. Mine probably wasn't either. It was on the desk.
Yours was. He pulled it out. He never did find mine.
Yeah. Oh, it's in there if you want to dig down in there. And get
Oh,
it
that's
on
all
there.
right.
I should have put Dan's in there 5 times, and he still wouldn't have won and said, oh, my name ain't in the bucket.
You could put mine in there 5 times and everybody else is in there once. I still wouldn't win. You
Or
actually
give it-
put mine in
give it-
there every time
But
and
didn't
one
you-
other person in there and the other person would win.
Didn't you win before on the show?
No.
Oh. Oh well.
Do a non-winning draw and see who you get.
Yeah.
That'd be-
I mean, that should only be me, Walker, and Dan.
All right, I'll pull a name. This is a non-winning drawing, but if it's none of you guys, I ain't showing you the name. So
There you go.
I swear to God, if you pull my name, I'm gonna take that solid
Nope.
iron over there and shove it deep in my soul.
none of the above. None of the above.
There you go.
The initials are SD.
I'm gonna put my eye out with that.
Oh hell, that's so much fun. Let's do it one more time.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Random loser number 2.
Nope.
Yep.
We can't even lose.
I know. I can't even win the loser prize.
Nope.
Wow.
This is for $1 million between Elaine's dollars.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you were
it's
giving
like
away shares of stock.
Nope, you guys didn't even win that.
Draw one more
for these
time.
nuts?
If it's Walker, I'll pay for his haircut.
How about for these nuts?
Nope.
Wow.
I'd just take the money.
I would say, okay, so we had 50, what I say 50, well, we added stuff. So we had 60. So each name had like 4 in 1 chance of winning. Because
You mean
My name had
a 1
a
in 4 chance.
yeah, okay, 1 in 4. Yeah.
my name had a 1 in never chance of getting pulled.
25% chance, and I got nothing.
Hey, I'm happy. I got a chassis.
There you go.
I'll tell you on a chassis.
Actually, you got a body harpoon, but somehow you bamboozled your way out of that.
No, it was a wrench.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
want a wrench.
tire wrench.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not complaining.
All right.
I
Build it
wouldn't
and
either.
try it.
That's a big value jump.
Well, see, maybe you didn't get drawn because you weren't on the nice list.
Oh, I'm never on the nice list.
Nobody's on. Are you saying Shane's on the nice list?
Yeah, I think I am. Mr. Naughty.
I
Shane
have a
didn't
beard.
do his homework.
I had
Well,
extra credit.
the bucket was already made up. I mean,
I technically got 50% because the cars are built.
Yeah, but you didn't show up.
Oh, I got a foot cramp. This is going to be awesome. Feel like
Also, a 50 is still a failing grade, so.
all right, so Dan, what's your Christmas plan? You traveling or staying home?
Staying home.
That's a long time to make that decision. Walker, you staying home or going somewhere?
Staying home.
Justin,
Staying home.
Shane, I know what you're doing, staying home.
yeah, we'll all head over to my brother's,
I'm staying home too.
stay the night with my brother, and wake up with all the kids and play with their toys.
Anybody get a slot car track for Christmas?
I wish someone would open up one down here.
Well, did you see? Okay, so did you see on Facebook somebody from Brazil posted they got a king track in their basement for Christmas? Did you see
No.
that? That was awesome.
That's a big basement.
Well, it was kind of a scrunched together king. Like
Is it a pinch king?
Was
King?
it a pinch king?
it didn't have a 90 under the bridge, but it didn't have like a king cobra straight out around us.
How many lanes?
8 lanes.
Oh, speaking of a King Cobra, so what did your dad decide for braid depth, Walker?
Whatever
Um,
happens.
He still hasn't decided. Yeah,
Oh,
whatever
that
happens.
side of the track's going to be 20. The bank's going to be about 15.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to go in there and clean it up, clean the swan out. And
Yeah, we gotta go.
what was
we
the braid?
gotta-
What was the braid recess before?
It was like 20 to 25.
That side of the track. or that side of the track?
So, are you gonna put thick braid on it when you rebraid it?
We're gonna put the same as what was on it. I don't remember what was
Okay, so it's gonna be the same 20, 30,000
Yeah.
recess.
on it. Yeah, we're gonna try to make it
That's
exactly the
good.
same as it was.
Yeah,
There
there's
wasn't any issues with it before.
the trick with that would be to run around with a depth mic and try to find the low spot and just start there and make it universal around the
Yeah.
look for the low spot.
Dan, I think you need to go on the road for Christmas, go down there and show them how it's done.
No,
Yeah, there we go. You can come do it.
the boss would kill. No, my back still hurts from helping girding with the Route 93 King. What 6-8 years ago?
Oh, how convenient. Have you filed for disability yet?
No, hell no. I still work 50+ hours a week.
Wow.
That was a long 3 days. Took vacation to go help with that.
Well, that's like Walker. They moved a double-deck track.
Yeah, that was
Moved
hell.
a double-deck or an original American track. You don't know.
Going downstairs. A flight of
No, man,
stairs.
all you did was supervise.
No,
Dad,
I
you're
didn't.
doing it all wrong.
No, he just pushed the button on the elevator.
No, I didn't just supervise. Those didn't fit in the elevator.
Not
We had to
nothing
take them
good?
down the stairs. No, nothing fit in the elevator. Everything went down the
You have
stairs.
like a little wheelie cart or something?
No, we carried them
That's-
straight from the
Okay, wait a minute.
door to the.
When we say we, did you actually engage?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes, I did.
That's gonna be-
Me
that's
and
gonna
Dad
be-
for almost everything.
I didn't know if you were hands on or the we was you and the mouse in your pocket. I didn't know. So
No, Mom's the visualize and make sure everything goes well. That's her
Okay.
job. She just
Make
stands
sure-
there and looks pretty.
Or to make sure if it falls on you and not your dad, right?
Yeah.
no broken bones, no blood spilled.
Yeah, it was. We had help for the bank, and that was it. And then the finger and the dead man. Because the finger and the dead man are one continuous piece, so those were pretty tricky to get down the stairs.
You know what the worst part of a downstairs track is? When you close and have to move it up and out.
Yeah, we're just gonna sell the place.
Disable the sprinklers and light it on fire.
Going down's easy. Going up is the pain.
Yeah, we're not really looking forward to it.
I can win any race going downhill.
That's right.
I roll pretty good.
I don't know. I might be able to beat you down the hill. Gravity might. Justin goes to college. Everybody falls at the same rate, right?
I'll do the penguin slide.
Depends on how you sit on the sled.
Head first, it's easier to steer.
That's the slow way.
If I go feet first, I can't see over my belly. So then I got to hold my head up, and my aerodynamics are all
Yeah, you
hosed.
can't reach nothing, T-Rex.
I don't.
You gotta get a bobsled, then you're set.
There you go.
It's got like the cover and everything.
Gotta have the magic egg.
All
Skeleton.
right. Time for this fun to come to an end. Everybody have a very Merry Christmas.
So what's the secret word?
Let me finish. Haha.
You invited him.
Yeah, he kind of just barked his way in. No, it was fun having you on, Dan. So, everybody have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will have an episode next week. I believe it'll be Queen and I and whoever else wants to, because we don't even know what day we're going to do it yet.
Do it Tuesday. I can have one of my nephews or something on there.
Well, we'll play it by ear. But we will have an episode next week. That'll be episode 71. 72.
72.
So, everybody have a good holiday, good Christmas. I'm not going to tell you Happy New Year until next week. So, if you go race this week, be safe and have fun. Win. Walker, what do you have to tell your adoring fans and listeners?
I want to tell all of you that you are way luckier than I am.
Well, somewhere. There was more losers than there was winners.
Yeah, I know, but it just sucks being a loser.
It's just like being a slot car race, isn't it?
Yep, exactly the same.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. Justin,
I'm the B main Jesus.
any words of wisdom?
Merry Christmas and good job on everyone being luckier than Walker.
Shameless plug over there.
I should have done it at the start. I don't know how many people made it to here.
Probably not many.
Why don't you just get a hat with that move? You could just put a tape a header card to your hat.
Yeah, your mom can make a hat. She's got the shirts and everything.
There you go.
Oh, that's
Oh, wait, yeah. That's it.
May as well.
I guess I'll race this guy.
No, that's one of the new hardened ones. You just don't have it yet.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's got aluminum pans on it, so.
Can't tell
Oh, it's real
can't tell
big.
the difference.
Those
Oh, no,
aluminum
exactly.
pans are actually stiff. So.
All right, Shane, what do you got to say?
Don't eat yellow snow.
It's good advice.
Pretty solid.
You got to find snow first.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And Dan, what are your parting words?
My parting words: everybody stay safe. Race more hard bodies.
If I'd have won the chassis, I might just would have.
And Dan, what is the secret word?
The secret word:
Yeah. Not so easy, is it?
price restrictions.
That's two words, but that'll work.
I can't even spell that.
Yeah.
Okay, how about
Easier to
price
spell.
limit, Shane? Can you spell that?
PR.
PR.
Price restrictions.
Or
Parent
PR.
regret.
Parents, yeah, see, that works out both.
There you
PR.
go, PR. There you
Yeah. Killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
At Walker's expense.
go. You're gonna need a higher caliber for that.
I'm in charge of PR.
Sadly.
Parents regret. That was too much. All right. Time to
Mike can
go,
give me his
guys.
cheers.
Thanks. See you next week.